Good morning. Do you ever have nights where you can't sleep or where you're just awake for hours at a time? I've been going through that for quite a long time. I wake up in the night and I'm awake for hours. And it used to really bother me. Sometimes it still bothers me. But I approach it differently now. I've been using the time that I'm awake in the night, the quiet and the stillness and the, just sort of really being there with my thoughts and with myself. And sometimes I meditate or do a love practice. And sometimes I do other things. I think about what's going on for me, like the thoughts or ideas or feelings or experiences that I'm not really making time for in the day to pay attention to. I think they come at night when I've got that open space for awareness. And sometimes I catch things from the universe. For instance, the last couple of nights I've been catching course material. I'm thinking of doing a short magic course, and I've been catching the material in the night. So I have this little notebook by my bed that I quietly pull out and scribble in the dark and then hope I can make it out in the morning so that I don't wake up my spouse. And I've just been enjoying that a lot more than resisting the fact that I'm awake and being frustrated because I'm not asleep. I want to also explain, understand it may be a little different for me than it is for other people, because I don't have to get up at a certain hour. I can, if I can sleep, I can't usually sleep in the morning. I'm a morning person by nature, but if I can sleep, then it's okay to. So I'm not as frustrated as if I were knowing that I had to get up in a few hours and I'm going to be exhausted. Although sometimes that happens too, and I still try to make the most out of the time that I'm awake and not resist it. I kind of, I've mentioned that practice before. Do you remember? Where whatever happens, I reframe it in my mind and just think, this, I don't know why, but this must be the best possible version of results. This must be the best possible thing that could happen. And I've been doing that with my sleeping or non-sleeping. This is what's happening, and therefore it must be the best thing. It must be for a really good reason, even if I don't know what that is yet. So, do you ever have that experience of being awake in the night? And have you ever just created a willingness and openness around that? Thinking that it's okay, that it may be a good thing, that this is the time when your soul can really speak to you, and when the divine can really be heard. When we're lying in bed and everything is quiet, including the psychic emanations, so to speak, the minds of those around us are quiet. And we are just lying there with nothing to do and nowhere to go. It's much easier for the subtle voices to be heard. So I'm just remembering that song. There's a song, Can't Sleep at Night, Ever Wonder Why? Maybe God is trying to tell you something. You know that song? Can't sleep at night and you wonder why. Maybe God is trying to tell you something. Something like that. Maybe it's true. There's a lot to be said for that. I think I catch most of my best stuff in the night. And then I have something really great to share with you guys, or with my students, or whatever, on my website. So, is there anything more that wants to come through about that today? There's a happiness and a love that's available to us when we approach those waking night times with openness and an awareness that, it's an opportunity, in essence. It's an opportunity to hear ourselves on a deeper level and be open to the divine, and maybe do some practices that we don't have enough time for. I can lie here at night and do 2 hours of love practice that I rarely get to do in the daytime, maybe never. Or 2 hours of meditation with no distractions. Or, 2 hours of just communing with myself. 2 hours of feeling appreciation for things, gratitude. 2 hours of loving my body or smiling into my body for healing and well-being and, healing old traumas and whatever, just because, really. Just because it's an awfully good thing to do. And mine are always in 2-hour blocks. I don't know why. If I'm awake, it's 2 hours before I can sleep again, generally. So when I do that, there's so much, it's loving myself to be present for myself in that way. And it's loving the divine to be open and connecting in that way. So it's just such a more wonderful feeling. And it's going to be harder, I think, if we're chronically sleep deprived, as most of the culture is, as the culture promotes sleep deprivation. We put on a pedestal people who are said to only need 4 hours sleep a night. We all wish, right? We could get away with that. And we spend so much of our lives burning away at things that we wish we weren't doing, that we tend to stay up way too late, even though we're too tired to make beneficial use of that time. We stay up way too late, kind of just zoning out on TV or video games or Facebook or whatever. And then we're not getting enough sleep to carry us through the day properly, to nourish our health and support our health and well-being for the long term, to balance our emotions and our mental equilibrium, making the whole day, next day, harder in every way. And then we do that over and over and over again. And that chronic sleep deprivation just wreaks havoc with every level of your being, with your health and physical well-being. Eventually, that you're kind of like every night, if you do that, you're every night draining wellness out of your sort of physical bank account. And sooner or later, you hit health debt, essentially. But if you, on the other hand, take good care of yourself and respect your body's needs for rest and rejuvenation, that puts wealth into your physical bank account. Physical, like health, health is the first wealth, the first form of richness. And without it, you don't have any other kind. You know, I really found that out when I was sick. I was working so hard trying to establish a source of income for our family, which was important and necessary, but I sacrificed my health to do it, and consequently ended up using up all of our savings and investments, essentially, to try to regain my health. So that came clear to me that that's one way that health is the first level of wealth. So I would really encourage you, just out of this sense of caring and love for you, to get enough sleep one way or another, get the rest that you need, and everything starts to become easier, and you start to find your way out of the places that are draining the life force out of you, like jobs that are sucking the life out of you, that you don't want to be doing, that you think you have to be doing. Your system isn't rich enough and present enough and functional enough to be able to find a way out of that trap as long as you're chronically sleep deprived. Even if you come home and have a nap, or at lunch on your lunch break, I used to do this. On your lunch break, take a half an hour and do a revitalization, meditation, visualization, whatever, or have a half-hour nap or something. Those naps can go a long way towards taking the edge off and giving us that bit more energy for the rest of the night, the rest of the day. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that because I actually really have to go to my next manifestation practice. So where are we? Where are we? We are at the practice for today. And if you have insomnia, that's pretty clear. See if you can't approach that time when you're awake in the night as a gift, and enjoy it and use it for connection with yourself and the divine. Use it for meditation or health practices or whatever. Enjoy it as a gift, as an opportunity, and see what that does to the experience, how it shifts things. And if you don't have the insomnia issue, and I don't even like to label that really, but if you're not awake in the night, then a great practice could be see how you can pull in rest time and enough sleep, and honor yourself, love yourself enough to give your body what it needs, but even just in terms of sleep and rest. I really wish that for you. I wish that for all of you, because we want the things that self-love give us. We want the confidence, we want the abundance, we want the success, we want the relationships that are rooted in self-love and worthiness. And until we're giving ourselves what we really need, the universe watches that and says, she doesn't really mean it. She doesn't want the things that she wants. She doesn't want the things that she needs. But when we can do that, then the universe starts to take us seriously, and we start to take us seriously. We start to actually feel love for ourselves, and caring and compassion for ourselves, and kindness. And that's the starting point for everything else to come to us and for everything that we want to be in life. I could go on to that for another 20 minutes, but really going to wrap it up and just wish you the most beautiful day and the most blessed night possible. And I will chat with you tomorrow. Feel free to leave me a comment. I always love reading those. And I will talk to you again then. Blessed be.